Welcome to the Sunday Preview. This is Father Richard Gill from St. Lawrence O'Toole and Sacred Heart in Brewster, New York. And we're glad to welcome you this Sunday to Mass. We've got a great gospel this week, and the whole theme of the Mass is the idea of a banquet, a big celebration that God throws for us, and He invites us. And that invitation is an open-ended invitation. We see that also in that first reading where the prophet Isaiah speaks of the banquet where God is going to wipe away every tear and He'll make everything right. And that's the future that we have to look forward to. And then St. Matthew picks up a similar theme in his gospel where Jesus tells this parable. And it's in chapter 22 of St. Matthew. Jesus again spoke to the chief priests and the elders in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven might be likened to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son. He dispatched his servants to summon the invited guests to the feast, but they refused to come. A second time, he sent other servants, saying, 'Tell those invited, behold, I have prepared my banquet. My calves and my fattened cattle are killed, and everything is ready. Come to the feast.' Some ignored the invitation and went away, one to his farm, another to his business. The rest laid hold of the servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged, and he sent his troops and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. Then he said to the servants, 'The feast is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy to come. Go out, therefore, into the main roads, and invite to the feast whomever you find.' The servants went out into the streets and gathered all they found, bad and good alike, and the hall was filled with guests. But when the king came to meet the guests, he saw a man there not dressed in a wedding garment. The king said to him, 'My friend, how is it that you came here without a wedding garment?' He said to his attendants, 'Bind his hands and feet, and cast him into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. Many are invited, but few are chosen.'" The Gospel of the Lord. Well, the parallels we can probably see to the Pharisees, the religious leaders who were the first ones to be invited. But they were busy. They were not interested. And that invitation the Lord sends out to us can sometimes find us too distracted about our own business, self-centered, self-absorbed. And we miss the banquet, the celebration that the Lord has for us. He's inviting us into His kingdom. And so many people miss that because they're caught up with the affairs of daily life in the world. I don't think it's an accident that Jesus talked about it as a wedding banquet. And He talked about His Son. There's no mention of the bride, though. And I think there's a hint there that we're invited to the wedding banquet, not just to be spectators, but to actually be the bride. We're the ones that are supposed to come and participate. When the first ones refuse the invitation, He sends His servants out to all the rest, and good and bad alike show up for that wedding banquet. The invitation is open-ended. It's to everybody. And yet, an interesting detail occurs toward the end of the gospel. Someone shows up with no wedding garment, and the king throws them out. That invitation is open-ended to everybody. But it's not just for spectators. It's not for us to stand there passively. It's for us to participate. We're called into a relationship with the Son of God, not just to stand off in the distance. You know, when we do baptisms, we always ask the question of the parents and the godparents, are you willing to bring this child up in the practice of the faith? We ask the godparents, are you willing to assist the parents? And they respond, yes, sometimes haltingly, a little bit afraid of what they're getting themselves into. Well, Christianity is not a spectator sport. It's for us to be deeply personally involved. And our lives have to bear fruit of charity, fruit of participation, fruit of service. Is that the kind of relationship we want with Jesus Christ? Is that what we're looking for? Then we belong at the banquet. If not, we'll be on the outside.